A long time ago, before I start YouTube videos, I got from Germany Bay what was supposedly the remains of a Soviet aircraft radar transmitter. So it was more or less a big aluminium plate with a number of high voltage parts bolted on it. And here are the remaining parts. So we will have a look at it. So 4 parts to look at. We will start with this one. So we have 2 transformers. This smaller one seems to be so you can see it is completely potted and painted in gray. Here is what must be the model number, and it seems to be a very simple high voltage transformer. Just one coil here and one coil at the output with high voltage wire. We have what seems to be 4 layers of insulation in here. We have this outer sleeve, we have some fiberglass or maybe even asbestos mesh, and 2 layers of silicone, one sleeve and one thick layer up to the middle with a copper conductor inside. So I did never try to power it and measure the output voltage. It might be useful for some high voltage project if it is not fried. This I can test in fact with my component tester. I will avoid touching the output in case it is a very high ratio. So we have 6 ohms at the primary, so yes, might be in a good working condition or may be useful for something. You can see there is this mounting plate bolted in here, and the screws are really integrated in the thing, and even this mounting plate, you can see the paint, everything was made together and painted at the same time, but they did probably cover this side in order to not have paint, maybe for grounding purpose. Yes, you can see there is indeed a grounding wire here going to this base plate. Interesting. So it was the first one. Second one, second transformer, much bigger. Same thing, we have grounding wires going to the metal pieces. Here we have a number of contacts at the primary. Same thing, completely potted in a grey paint. We can see the core here, it is a double core. We have a total of 4 U-shaped parts on these clamps to hold everything together with these standoffs here. We have the original part number in the circuit, TR1 for transformer 1. Here is the model number of this one. This one is quite a weight already, and we have what seems to be 2 high voltage outputs. This one still have its original rubber cup, as you can see, red rubber, but this wire seems a little bit sad inside it. And the same wire with there is even one more layer, because I can see some Teflon wrapped around the conductors in the middle. So Teflon insulator, you can see it is like this in fact. Oh, here we are. So here is this female contact. It plugs in this, like so. Like so. Okay, so this one has a lot of contacts on the primary side, so it may require some testing in order to find which coils you need to power. And again, we have 2 outputs, so it is quite simple to use, I guess. Next part will be this high voltage capacitor. Actually we have two capacitors in one. You can see we have a nice little schematic. 20 kilovolts in series or 2 times 10 kilovolts capacitors. They are 0.2 microfarads at 20%. Date code of February 1972. So nice schematic and nice insulators, ceramics insulators, as you can see. So I have no clue why they are not both the same, as they are both 10 kilovolts capacitors. Maybe it is just for a matter of space, available space. And you can see the middle point here, the grounding. Probably here. Ah yes. In fact the grounding is at this side. So only one of the capacitors is connected to the ground. So it is in a very strong welded metal can. Probably it is some kind of oil capacitor, maybe even with PCBs inside, but it is in very good condition and not leaking at all, at least. And here on the top we have some kind of screw terminals, like so, with solder in this part. So probably there is a metal deposit on the ceramics and then they solder over it. So quite and this is also quite a lot of weight. Okay, we will finish with this, what seems to be a high voltage resistor in ceramics again, with its mounting and brackets here, as you can see. It was resistor number 1 in the circuit. Here you can see this cable is pretty sad. Probably it was passing through a rubber grommet and the rubber did migrate more or less in the sleeve here and change its color. We have a terminal here still mounted, but at this side I had to cut the wire. So we will remove one side in order to check how it is exactly. We have no value written on it. No model number, nothing. Quite unusual in fact. So what do we have? You can see this clamp is actually keeping in place the rubber seal, and we might have the same thing we have on the other piece of the transformer. Yes, you can see same kind of contact, it seems. No, this is, the wire is directly soldered in this and you cannot remove this part. So we will check the value of this thing because I have no idea. Probably it is a pretty high value if it is a high voltage resistor, but we will find out, I guess, if I manage to connect these test leads. 5000 ohms. Okay, so quite a nice piece. As you can see, very seriously made with this nice bakelite clamps, and they were directly these holes here were directly bolted to the main aluminum plate of the system. Okay, so I will put this back together. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.